Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Top Performer Spotlight of Cohort 16 at VC Lab. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for coming out today. There's so many of you here, and there's so much to cover. So, very quickly, before we get started, my name is Mirto Lalakos, and I'm a principal here at VC Lab, and I will be your host for today. We've prepared little bit of material for you, and here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take you on a little bit of a journey, which is going to start out by us giving you some insight into VC Lab and end with us coming all together for networking. And we want to take a moment kind of in the meantime here to talk about the Mensarius Oath. We're going to give you an overview of cohort 16, which is obviously the main point of focus for today, and then cast a spotlight on some of the top performers coming out of this cohort. So about VC Lab, for those of you who are joining us here for the first time today, VC Lab is the leading closing program for new and emerging managers worldwide. So we're the leading accelerator in this space globally. And to give you a sense of scale, we accelerate over half of all new funds in the world every year, if not more, which is an incredible kind of statistic to think about. So I want to kind of give you a glimpse into how we help so many VC firms launch globally. So, first, the program guides new and emerging managers through weekly step by step kind of guides that we call sprints. Okay. And these sprints lead these new managers to close on capital in record time because we've seen it all before. We've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. We know where the pitfalls are. We know how you can accelerate the progress. And the sprints technically guide managers to do this in the fastest and most efficient way possible. And we hold live sessions every week where we all come together to learn from those who've done it before successfully. We bring in kind of experts in our network who are world leading in venture capital that we cooperate with internally. And every enrolled participant has free access to the leading operating system for VC firms called Decile Hub. And Decile Hub is such an incredible and powerful tool that is, everything that you do on Decile Hub is powered by AI right now. And it's a tool that the more managers use, the more likely they are to successfully launch a fund, which is crazy to kind of think about it. Next up, we give brutally honest feedback, which cuts through the noise and cultural norms. So, as you're going to see later on today, these programs are global and there's people from different cultures and different backgrounds. And so, we need to be really straight with people and kind of call things for how they are and not beat around the bush. Otherwise, people are going to get confused. They're not going to be understanding what the direction is they need to take. And so that's kind of, you'll find a lot of our events, if you've joined them before, we like to say things how they are. And turns out this is helpful in this kind of program experience. Um, Much of the program's emphasis also revolves around creating a very strong sense of community within the cohort. So managers create very solid bonds with one another that they carry forward way past the end of the cohort, right? And community is very much at the center of everything that we do here at VC Lab. And this is why we hold these events and we open these up and give everybody a glimpse into what we're doing. And we invite you guys to also join our community, whether it's through, just coming to these events, sticking around for networking, or applying to, a program that you may be interested in being a part of. And like everything we do here at VC Lab, we not only work with the best, but you can see how kind of aggressive we are with our funnel here. So just in cohort 16, we had over 3,550 applications. Only 360 of those were enrolled in the program, and less than 2% of those kind of from the top of the funnel made it to be here today. And finalize the program. And it's a remarkable achievement. Even more remarkable is that these, managers achieved everything they achieved whilst being bound to the principles of the Mensarius Oath. And if you've been, if you joined a program of ours, if you're a participant in kind of Venture Institute or LP Institute or even VC Lab, everyone has signed the Mensarius Oath, which is a code of conduct basically for venture capitalists and other professionals in finance, which was created to encourage responsible investing, but also make sure that people are conducting themselves with fairness, kind of looking out for society, for the planet. And so it basically kind of gives this moral compass, sorry, to VCs who are starting out. And it's truly admirable that everyone who made it to this point from cohort 16 today shows us that you can achieve a lot whilst being ethical. And for this kind of next section of the event, because we're here to talk about cohort 16, we want to give you the chance to meet some of the managers that came out of the program and put the spotlight on just a small sample of the people who finished this incredibly difficult program. And they're here with you today to share with you, their stories, and hopefully inspire some of you to also make the leap into venture capital if that's something that you've been thinking about in their footsteps. So we're going to be giving out some awards, and we're super excited. So as you guys will see, there's a set of emoji reactions down at the bottom of your screen. Some of you have been using them already, but I do encourage you guys to kind of use them. These are kind of your virtual clapping hands, if you like, to encourage the managers who are here today, to applaud them for everything that they have achieved, and also for getting these awards. So the first award we want to give out goes out to none other than Seth, Helen, and Claire Lee from Halstone Ventures. Congratulations, Seth and Claire. It was such a pleasure working with you. You guys were extremely coachable. You were listening to every recommendation that we kind of had to give you. You were so diligent in your approach. You were attending the sessions, and you did everything with great ethics and just fantastic attitude throughout. I asked my colleague Johan, how it was working with you, because, you guys spent a lot of time together, and he came back with a paragraph this big. So, everyone, put your virtual hands together for Seth and Claire. And we actually have Seth here today, who's going to be sharing a few words with you about his background and his experience being on the program. So give it up for Seth. And Seth, welcome on stage.
Thank you, Murdo. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. And on behalf of my partner, Claire Lee, and I, thank you to the VC Lab team for this incredible recognition and for the opportunity to share a few thoughts today. My journey into venture capital didn't begin in finance. It began in the trenches as an operator in the media and entertainment industry for over 25 years. I've had the privilege of working across film and television production and post-production supply chain, always with an emphasis on technology. I've built companies, I've scaled them, I acquired them, and exited, all while navigating this industry's constant evolution. And over time, I saw a shift. The next great wave of innovation in media creation, distribution, and monetization wasn't just happening inside the traditional Hollywood, gaming, broadcast, or advertising supply chains. There was a much wider change taking place across the media and entertainment landscape. And I discovered enormous opportunities to support this transformation, particularly in AI. So then I began angel investing in this sector, backing founders, building transformative tools and platforms. And I soon realized that to really truly support this innovation at scale, I needed to evolve too. And that's when I found VC Lab. I came into this program completely open-minded. I knew I had key raw materials, I had vision, I had conviction, but of course, I had a lot to learn. So I made a decision early on. I was going to let go of most of what I thought VC was and just dive into the program. So I completed every sprint. We showed up to every session. We listened. We really listened to the advice from the Jedi Masters of the VC Lab team. I absorbed the insights, asked for feedback, and just trusted the process at the end of the day. I almost didn't go through this program since, like lots of business leaders at this stage in our careers, we can get disillusioned by how much we think we know. And I can say with absolute clarity that this was one of the smartest decisions I made. I shudder to think of a world where I didn't go through this program and where I would be today. The system worked, the structure and the tools and the pacing. It's all been designed through years of experience by gurus who have seen what it takes to build an enduring venture capital firm. I saw it as quite literally the recipe for success. But on top all of that, what I found truly special, what sets VC Lab apart, and what I believe will define the next era of venture capital is the focus on why firms are built in the first place. This isn't just about capital, it's about aligning with a mission. And at this early stage, the program helped me form a real commitment to integrity and fairness and inclusivity and transparency and to backing founders who are building with purpose. As emerging managers, we're mindful that we're choosing who and what gets a shot at shaping the future. That's not something we take lightly. And what inspired me most throughout this program is how deeply those values are embedded in this culture through Adeo and Mike and Murdo and Yoan and the whole Decile Group team and this global community. So when I entered VC Lab, I didn't know what I didn't know, but I knew that I wanted to learn and I was ready to do the work. And today I leave the program fully enlightened with a clear mission and a strong sense of purpose. There's a reason people use the phrase a recipe for success, because sometimes following the right instructions and tapping into the wisdom of others is really what gets you there faster, more effectively, and with fewer costly mistakes. VC Lab gave us that recipe, and following it has given me an unfair advantage in building an enduring future. To the team, to my peers in Cohort 16, many of whom have become good friends, and to everyone who shared the journey, thank you so much. I'm honored to be a part of this community, and I can't wait to see what we all build next. Thank you.
Seth, thank you so much. Congratulations for everything that you've achieved. It's been such a pleasure working with both you and Claire, and we cannot wait to see where you guys take this in the future. So, congratulations once again, Seth. Awesome.
Thank you.
So, next up, we have another award that we're giving out. And this one is very special because it's someone we work with really closely as well. So, this second award goes out to Dauda from AVX Capital. So, Dauda is also here today to kind of share a little bit about his background, but I want to say a few words before we invite him up to the stage here. So, Dauda, you were such a friendly kind of figure and presence to work with. You know, it was always clear kind of from when we first met you that you will do extremely well here, despite kind of being in a region that others tend to shy away from or kind of find that it's difficult to, kind of succeed in this space. But despite kind of any challenges, you really persevered. You took so much of our advice. You trusted the process as well. And you achieved so much in, such a short space of time. So, Dauda, congratulations for all the hard work and kind of commitment that you've put into this. And everyone, please welcome Dauda on stage. And he's also going to be sharing a few words with everyone.
Thank you so much, Merto. Good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to say how honored I am to be here and to have been selected as one of VC Lab Cohort 16 top performers. This means a lot to me, not just personally, but for the mission I'm building and also for where I come from. You see, I didn't take the traditional path into venture capital. I didn't work at a VC firm. I built companies from scratch in places where capital doesn't usually go. I started my journey actually in Mali from Bamako, where I launched my first business 15 years ago. I was young, ambitious, and maybe a little crazy. Building a vocational training company with no external funding, no connections, just belief. Over time, I launched more companies, including Summer Money, a mobile money platform, and Summer Finance, a microfinance group now expanding across the region. It wasn't easy. We faced a lot of challenges: political instability, the pandemic, and an ecosystem with very little support for founders. But we made it work. Still, through all those years, one thing never changed. Access to early capital was always the hardest part. In Africa, we have brilliant founders solving real problems in huge markets, but they are operating in systems that rarely give them a chance. And I discovered something important. Entrepreneurship is everywhere, but support isn't. Talent isn't the issue, access is. That realization stayed with me, and it started shaping a kind of vision. At some point, it became clear to me, if we want a strong economy in Africa, we need strong companies. And for that to happen, those companies need to be backed by venture capital. Once the vision took shape, I knew I had to evolve, not just to build businesses, but to help others build too. So I began preparing. I went to Harvard Business School, where I joined the OPM program to better structure my startups, my companies, so they could run without me being involved in the day-to-day operations. Then I enrolled in VC University, where I earned a certificate and learned the fundamentals of venture capital. And finally, I joined VC Lab. So when I joined Cohort 16, I had the vision, but I didn't have the structure or the playbook. I came in with energy, but I needed clarity. And VC Lab gave me exactly that. Over the last 17 weeks, I have learned how to shape my thesis, how to structure my vehicle, how to build my LP pipeline, and most importantly, how to speak to investors with purpose and conviction. But beyond the tools and frameworks, VC Lab gave me something just as important: a community, a group of people from all over the world, all trying to do something hard and doing it anyway. And if I've learned one thing from this journey, it's this: you don't need be to have a perfect background, but what you need is resilience, clarity, and discipline. You have to show up every single week, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. And when you do, people start to believe. They feel your conviction and they lean in. To close, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to this incredible VC Lab team. Thank you for your support. Thank you to my amazing cohort peers. And thank you to everyone who supported me on this journey. I am grateful, I'm hopeful, and I'm just getting started. Thank you so much.
Dauda, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, your journey with us and also just kind of giving us so much inspiration and, guidance towards how you did it. And I think, there's a lot to be learned about your ethics and your ambition and kind of how you showed up every single day on the program and off the program. So, Dauda, this is so well deserved. Thank you so much. And once again, we cannot wait to see where you take this in the future. Um, awesome, everyone. So, please give one last round of applause for Dauda here today. And with that, I want to present a third award from Cohort 16. And this one goes to Blair, Evan, JT, Matthew, and Neil Gosh from Selenic Capital. So, team, big congratulations for winning this award. And I want to take a few moments to say a few words. So, Matthew, you had been on one of the programs previously, and then you came back stronger than ever with this incredibly strong team, building something truly unique. And as kind of, the team that kind of helps to accelerate over half of the world's new VC funds every year, I can tell you that we've never quite seen what you're looking to build, and what you're working on right now. So, you're really kind of trailblazing a new path here, and you're doing this with so much kind of finesse. So, congratulations for all your hard work. And we have JT here with us today, who's also going to be sharing a few words about his background and, what he's working on. So, congratulations, JT. Everyone, please give it up and welcome JT on stage.
Awesome. Thank you. Mirto, can you see and hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. That's a win. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. I'm JT. As Mirto shared just a moment ago, I have four absolutely incredible partners who join me in our participation here in Cohort 16. They're Blair Merlino, Evan Allen, Neil Ghosh, and Matt Burris. And so on behalf of this group, I just want to begin and we'll actually end with our thanks to the VC Lab team, as well as our peers. This has just been a wonderful experience, and more importantly, one that I would and will recommend to anyone who has serious aspirations in venture. My partners and I are deeply committed to the venture studio model. So our focus coming into the program was to do something that would really meaningfully lift up studios. For context, four of us met as colleagues in a studio setting, and across our team, we've launched 4 distinct studios, provided advisory services for over a dozen more, and largely pointing at Matt's work here, we've researched and evaluated over 500 studios globally. So studios are really our wheelhouse. And through that experience, we've developed a bedrock belief, kind of a first principle, that venture studios are a force of good in venture, and that despite compelling performance, studios are not all that well understood by the investment community. So we'll just back up for a second here. Studios are companies that build companies. They serve in 3 roles. They're an investor, a founder, and an operator. It was Matt Burris who really helped me understand that and has helped many of our prospects understand that. When you bring these functions under one roof, there are tremendous benefits. In fact, studio-born startups have shown to outperform traditionally funded startups by as much as 3x on the basis of return and speed. We believe this story is undersold in the venture community, and this gates innovation. So as a step toward doing something about it, we applied for VC Lab's Cohort 16 and were thrilled to be accepted. Upon arrival, we knew we had made the right decision. The program has been perfect for us. As my time with the microphone is limited today, which I'll say is a good call, because I would go on and on, as Mirto knows. I'll share 3 of the ways that we've benefited the most. The first thing I'll say is we love selection, and by that I mean processes that challenge us to perform alongside other A players, really bring out the best in us. When Mirto shared that funnel chart and showed just the sheer volume of emerging managers who applied to be part of this program, as opposed to those who matriculated and were able to graduate, that's something we love. We like knowing that a cut line is on the horizon. We think it's a good thing. Specifically, it forces us out of our comfort zone and calls on us to dig deeper, be vulnerable, push harder. These are all good things. That urgency is a good thing. The second thing I'll say is we like and we actually need hard coaching. So there's 5 of us, and our team is made up of individuals who have done a lot of hard things in their lives, operated in consequential environments, if you will. Entrepreneurs, athletes, market makers, a military veteran. Our culture kind of mandates clarity of mission, and we value hitting the target above anything else, even feelings. So generally speaking, we're allergic to ambiguity. We didn't get any ambiguity within this programming. VC Labs program leaders didn't hold back. The candor led to faster iteration on our thesis, our processes, and our approach, and we're just better for it, and candidly very grateful. I heard Seth say earlier that he didn't know what he didn't know. Well, count us amongst you. We didn't know what we didn't know. VC Lab's process has been a true game changer for us. The incrementalist approach, beginning with an exploratory discussion and transitioning to demonstrable intent, has helped us navigate dynamics and conversations that really, let's face it, might otherwise be very awkward. And so as our momentum has grown, so too has our leverage. We've been able to point to our early success within the program to create urgency with new prospects, leading to larger commitments and faster commitment cycles. Candidly, at the beginning of this program, we just didn't think that that was possible, or at least I didn't. And so I credit VC Lab and that rigorous programming and these sprints for opening our eyes to that and letting us understand that the target can be much bigger. As far as what's next for us, I'll say here that our conviction to support venture studios has only grown through this process. While there is awareness of studios in the venture space, there is not a common understanding of what studios are, how they differ from other forms of venture investing, and the powerful results that they're capable of producing. I'm just going to hover here for a second. There is a model for company creation that is demonstrating a meaningful advantage, and the world needs to know about it because the innovation that studios power is transformative. So this perspective informs our focus moving forward. As a group, we are all in on venture studios. This commitment is going to manifest in the following ways. First, we're going to continue to leverage our momentum and performance within this program to help studios succeed here in the United States. To address the larger issue, several of us have formed or led the formation of the Venture Studio Forum. This is a global trade association for the venture studio ecosystem whose mission is to champion for studios through community, research, and education. This effort has actually already begun in earnest and continues to gain momentum daily. We're accepting our first members now, and we'll announce key partnerships and additional benefits soon. We, of course, welcome all of you to join this movement with us. I'll put the link in the chat if that's okay. And for anyone interested in learning more about either of the above, I'm happy to speak more during the network sessions that follow the ceremony or one-on-one. I'll put my LinkedIn profile in the chat as well. As promised, I'm just going to close with a few words of thanks. I'll start with the VC Lab team. Through this process, we have had countless interactions with the team. We've come to depend on the tough love and cutting candor. We're deeply grateful for the investment in time and resources you've made in us. Just truly grateful. And to our peers, we've just enjoyed meeting you and cheering you on as colleagues. The interactions have been wonderful. We've both given and received help, and we sincerely hope to stay connected in the future. So I'll just say bravo, y'all, and thank you for an incredible experience. As promised, I'll put the links to the Venture Studio Forum and my LinkedIn profile in the chat in just a moment. Thank you, Mirto.
Thank you so much, JT. That was amazing. Congratulations once again for everything that you and your team have achieved, and keep spreading the word about venture studios and kind of the power that can come from within this model. So thank you so much for kind of opening our eyes to that on behalf of the VC Lab team and the world. So congratulations once again, Seth. Everyone, please give it, sorry, JT, please give it up one more time for JT. Congratulations. So next up, we have one final award winner who unfortunately won't be speaking because we want to make sure that we kind of give enough time for everyone here to network. And if I could, I would be featuring every single finalist of this program. But we do want to give one last special mention to Jiri and Katerina from M&P Ventures. So you guys were one of those silent forces who are, you know, kind of doing so much under the radar. And every time we kind of stopped to look at where you are, you were like miles ahead from when we last kind of checked in on you. And so, you know, you kept amazing us, and we're so excited to see where you're going to take this in the future. Keep up, you know, the incredible work. the ambition and kind of the dedication to this. And congratulations for everything that you have achieved, Jiri and Katerina. Everybody, give it up for this. MMP Ventures, they have done an incredible job. So well done, everybody. This concludes kind of the award section of the event that we're hosting today. But I want to kind of focus a little bit on giving everybody a glimpse into what this cohort looked like. Okay, so here what you will see is that kind of the top sectors that the funds in cohort 16 were kind of building funds around. And that's right, well, the entire world is kind of investing in AI or deep tech. This group is mainly focused on kind of raising and deploying funds in things like health and climate, right? And so that's truly kind of inspiring to see that there's so many. We're not an impact kind of fund accelerator, but there's so many of you that are building these types of impact funds, and it's super inspiring to see. And also, you guys are representing pretty much the entire globe here. Obviously, a lot of you are in North America, and that's always been and will probably continue to be a really key pillar of the venture capital kind of global ecosystem. But we had so many funds come out of Europe and Asia. Africa is kind of a big one. There's more and more funds that we're seeing every single year. Latam, obviously, but also in the MENA region. So in terms of, kind of the performance here, the cohort 16 collectively got commitments from 325 LPs within the space of 14 weeks. They were able to get commitments for an average of 21% of their funds. And each one in those kind of 14 weeks had an average kind of commitment level of about seven LPs or so. And that's again on average. So I want you to kind of take a moment to think about how much ethical capital has been, raised in the past 14 weeks or so from these managers and will be deployed all over the world to shape an ethical future. So it's really, really inspiring to kind of see what you guys are doing, to be a very small part of your journey. And we get out of bed every day excited to come to work and to help you guys make this happen, because we truly believe that venture capital is probably the only thing that will be able to kind of change the course of the trajectory in which we are in. And just to kind of also kind of close the closing ceremony kind of part of this event, Adeo, Resi, and Mike Supervici could unfortunately not be here today. They love being a part of this, but it's Adeo's birthday, so he's traveling this week, and Mike is kind of stepping in. So, but they did kind of want to pass on their congratulations and best wishes to all of you for the future. And they also said they're counting on you to change the world. So there you have it, everyone. Please give it up one last time for cohort 16. For every cohort 16 member here, give it up for yourselves. You've done incredibly well. And, we can't wait to see what you guys achieve in the future. So thank you so, so much. It's been such a pleasure working with you guys. And just before kind of we wrap up, I do want everyone to go off into networking. So many of the fund managers are here and you can get to meet them. Also, all of the, speakers and award winners are here too. But I do kind of want to say that, if you are in the audience today and are interested in kind of launching a fund, we're pleased to let you know that the early application deadline for cohort 18 is coming up. And if you were inspired by what you saw today and want to come on that same journey, then you can apply to that There's going to be a link in the chat. So Domenica, maybe we can put the application link in the chat. And then we also have applications open for our 2 other programs. The first one being Venture Institute. So that's if you're interested in learning about venture capital, you're not kind of at a stage where you're thinking of, launching a fund or doing a first close or anything like that. The final deadline is coming up here. And then LP Institute. So LP Institute is a program if you are a limited partner or a private individual or an institutional investor interested in venture capital as an asset class and you want to learn more about it, then please have a look at LP Institute. We'll be putting links to both of these programs in the chat as well. So with that, we're going to wrap up here by inviting you all to kind of join us on the networking table. So there's 3 tables. So there's an admissions Q&A table. So if you're applying to any of the programs and have questions for us, then you can come and join us on that table. We'll have a member of the team there to kind of answer your questions. We're also going to have the Cohort 16 alumni table. So if you were in Cohort 16 or you want to meet the Cohort 16 members, then please join us on that table. And there's also obviously general networking. So with that, thank you everyone so much for taking the time to come out today to our event. Cohort 16, once again, on behalf of myself and the entire VC Lab team, congratulations. You have done so incredibly well. All right, I'll see you all on the other side. Goodbye.